The night I showed her the footage. The front door clicked open, a familiar sound that once meant safety, routine, home. But tonight, it cracked through the silence like a gunshot in a church. Elena was only a few minutes late. Nothing unusual. Nothing that should have stirred suspicion on its own. Still, every second of delay had dripped through my nerves like acid. "Honey, I'm home," she sang with forced cheerfulness. I sat in the living room, one hand wrapped around a glass of bourbon, the other gripping the armrest like I was bracing for a storm. The television flickered in the dim room, casting long, jittery shadows across the walls. We'd been married 7 years. Built a life together, one of predictable joys and minor grievances. Laughter, shared dreams, vacations, petty squabbles. Our story wasn't extraordinary, but it was ours. Until, slowly, I began to notice it unravel. Elena stepped into the light, cheeks flushed, eyes sparkling just a little too brightly. She was glowing in a way that didn't feel right. Something in her smile twitched with artificial sweetness. Practiced mask. Lately she'd grown distant. She spoke less, much less. Her schedule changed without warning. She started wearing new perfume, one I hadn't bought. Then there were the whispered phone calls behind closed doors, the evenings with friends, the slight air of guilt that hovered like a bad scent. I wasn't stupid. I just wasn't ready to confront it. "How was dinner with Nicole?" I asked, trying to keep my voice smooth, my tone light. She gave a little shrug, that rehearsed, offhand nonchalance. "Oh, same old, same old. You know how it is." But I didn't know anymore. Not really. She moved closer, and that's when I caught it. A scent that didn't belong to me. A masculine cologne, subtle but unmistakable, clinging to her like static. It wasn't the first time I'd smelled it either. "I made coffee," I said. "Want a cup?" "Sure," she replied, trailing behind me into the kitchen. She was nearly skipping. Her body language was all wrong. Too light, too carefree. That spark in her step. I hadn't seen it in years. Should have made me happy. Instead, it chilled me to the bone. I poured her a cup. My hands were steady. My face stone. This wasn't the time to explode. This was the time to finish what I had started. "You seem upbeat," I said, casually sliding the mug across the counter. She laughed, a high, hollow sound. "Just had fun tonight. You know, good to catch up with the girls." She wouldn't meet my eyes. I nodded, didn't press. Just turned and started rinsing dishes, as if everything was normal. But inside I was seething, wounded, and waiting. Because last night, while she thought I was asleep, I watched the footage. Hidden cameras. One in the hallway. One in the bedroom. One discreetly placed in the guest charger dock in the living room. I'd known for 2 weeks that something wasn't right. Last night confirmed it. There she was, in a motel room, sitting on the edge of a creaky bed. A man stepped into frame. I saw her face light up like it hadn't for me in years. I watched her kiss him like she used to kiss me. Saw her hands on his body. Heard the things she whispered. I hadn't slept since. Back in the living room, I sat down beside her. The news was playing on TV, some story about the weather. It barely registered. "Can we watch something else?" she asked, just a little too sharply. "Of course," I said. I reached across the table and picked up my laptop. "Not to stream a movie." "What are you doing?" she asked, her voice caught somewhere between casual and nervous. "Just checking something." I opened the folder. The thumbnail was enough to freeze blood. Her, half undressed, sitting too close to a man she never told me about. I double-clicked. The footage played for 3 seconds before I turned the screen toward her. She went pale. The coffee cup in her hand slipped, crashing to the floor. Liquid soaked into the carpet like blood into bandages. Her jaw quivered. "Luke," she whispered. "What is this?" "You already know," I said evenly. "That's you. That's last night. That's not Nicole's house. That's a motel. Room 217. I have the reservation receipt. I have the footage. I have the audio." She looked like she couldn't breathe. No, this isn't real." It's as real as the scent you're still wearing, I said coldly. Tears welled in her eyes, but not the kind I used to comfort. These weren't tears of guilt. These were fear tears. The tears of someone who thought they'd never be caught. I don't know what to say, she stammered. Start with I'm sorry, I offered, voice dripping with contempt. She said nothing. Her mouth moved but no sound came out. I shut the laptop. You've got two options, I said, my voice low and razor-sharp. Pack your things, leave tonight, and we never speak again. Or we do this the hard way. I'll drag every second of this out in court. Your family, your employer, your friends, they'll all see what I've seen. Your reputation. Gone. The fear in her eyes shifted into despair. She wasn't sorry for what she did. She was terrified of losing the life she built on lies. I don't want that, she whispered. Then start packing. She hesitated for a moment, then nodded slowly, tears trailing silently down her cheeks. No begging, no excuses, just the quiet collapse of someone who knew it was over. I watched as she turned and disappeared down the hallway. Watched her pack the pieces of our shared life into a suitcase. 7 years. Just like that. I poured another bourbon. She didn't say goodbye. She walked out, dragging her suitcase behind her like a corpse. The door clicked shut again, this time for good. The next morning I got up, showered, and dressed with a clarity I hadn't felt in months. My flight left in 3 hours. A solo trip to a coastal town I'd always wanted to see. I had won. Her world was crumbling. Mine. Just beginning.